In this mechanical age, we have lost our sense of belonging. Rituals give us that sense of belonging, whether it's otherworldly or reality, invoking an inner power and strength.
How different can two images be when they're taken at the same time of the same subject in the same location with the same lighting? What's the only thing that changed between the images? The photographer. All artists, whether we're conscious of it or not, imbue our work with our own style, not through affectation but through something deep in our artistic DNA. The final images are so very different, so unique because of the creative vision of each of us. For this collaboration, we wanted to show how much of the work is down to the 3 pounds of grey matter behind the camera. Photography is our ritual, so adding our own practices to the history of ritual, another cycle in the feedback loop.
My name is Karl Dmitri Bishop. I'm a photographer and visual artist. With music and commercial photographer Matt Widgery, we are proud to introduce Ritual.
In what sense would you say that we need rituals?
I think rituals are a basic human instinct. We do it every day, we have done since the dawn of time, and I think it's a way for us to connect with universal forces, to understand ourselves better and any higher being.
What does ritual mean to you as an artist, as a human being? Is it important to you in your life?
I think it's very important. I think through daily rituals, whether it's making a cup of coffee or a religious practice, you're constantly evolving as a human being, as an artist in my case. So through researching other rituals and other different cultures around the world, you get more of an awareness about the existence of life.
How would you describe your art as a because you describe yourself as a photographer and a visual artist, don't you? I mean, you're both, which is
I feel like I'm cheating a bit if I say I'm a photographer because I guess it's more visual art or like a performance art. So I don't do much editing on the computer. Most of it is performance in front of the camera. So what you see in the picture is actually before you,
what happened,
not on the computer. So I'm like digitally put all this other stuff in the photo.
Yeah, right.
But I think my work is about connecting with nature and trying to go back to our roots and trying to bring back a bit of that into the work, connecting with the materialistic things that nature provides. I like to have a timeless sort of effect, so you can't quite place where it is, what planet is on, what existence is on, what time it is. And India is a big part of me. I love India. I do joke that I'm actually in a relationship with India. I think through travelling and living in different places is, I don't know quite how to put it in words. I observe people and their culture, and I find it very fascinating. So I research a lot into different cultures and people around the world. And just by watching and observing, for example, India, you learn a lot about life and a lot about people. And I think that's what I try to channel into my artwork.
So now I'm going to hand over the baton to you. Yep. You're going to actually do some interview questions for me. So I don't know, can you see the computer from there? Or
no, I'm blind as a bat.
Yeah, I think we're blind visual artists. That's an interesting one, I think. But yeah.
So Matt, hello,
yes,
welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
What's the benefit of collaborating with different artists?
Well, I think for me it's exciting to work with different people because every artist, every photographer brings their own vision to the project, and so you start to think about things from somebody else's shoes and somebody else's viewpoint, and I personally find that fascinating because if you work with people that are fantastic at what they do and can really sort of help you take your work to the next level. I mean, I've just learnt so much, working with you over this project. My mind has been open to these entirely new ways of creating images, and it's just been exciting through the whole project, and it's not something you can do by working on your own, I don't think.
So it's almost like two rituals coming together. A bit like two different religious rituals coming together.
It is. That's a really brilliant way of putting it. It absolutely is, because photography is kind of our ritual. I think we touched on this in the first part, but where you're right. I mean, the way that we go about our processes is kind of innate to us, and we kind of peel back every time we do a picture. And we go out with the cameras, we're sort of peeling back these layers of our own imagination and pushing the boundaries of where we are with our skill set and where we are with our influences and where we are with our experiences. And by kind of doing this sort of, ritualistic behaviour where we're sort of channeling further and hopefully sort of more inwards into, you know, the heart of who we are as,
so it's
as
quite
an artist.
inspiring, would you say?
Very inspiring. Very inspiring, because then you've got your own sort of side of things, and then when you look at somebody else and how their process is evolving, and you can start to sort of mix those things together, I mean, you can just get dynamite stuff that you'd never ever think of doing by yourself. So I think it's brilliant, you know, really exciting.
What does ritual mean to you?
I come at this from various angles, actually. I mean, personally, I mean, those of you that follow the channel know I used to have a big problem with drinking, and that was quite ritualistic in the sense that I'd get up every day and drink. So ritual can be both good and bad, and you get into these sort of cycles of things, some of which are positive and some of which are negative. And I find, interestingly, that in my own personal life, my photography has almost become a substitute for my drinking. It's something I'm very obsessive about, and I do to the nth degree. I'm always thinking about it every waking moment, and I dream about photography and things like that, which makes me incredibly tedious to talk to, but, you know, unless you're another photographer. But it's something that is very much in my psyche, to be ritualistic, to be sort of, I guess you'd call it an addictive personality, but addiction and ritual I think are quite close in that sense, and to move from something that is negative to something that's positive, and do something which allows that repetition to become this sort of engine to drive something positive and to drive creativity is really important. I think on the broader scale of things, I'm fascinated by ritual as it, you know, like we talked about in your part of the interview earlier, how it relates to cultures and how societies need these kind of anchor points in them in order to kind of get a sense of belonging and of self and of placement in time and in history. And photography is one of the very, very few things that can genuinely do that. You take a picture and it's a moment in time, and it can't be, okay, it can be altered in Photoshop and whatever, but you take a picture of somebody, it's there, it happened on that day with that lighting, and it's that 1,000th of a second, 250th of a second. And when you look back at these historical documents, they're these little points that sort of check us into the continuum of who we are as a society, as a culture, as people. And I think that's very similar to what a lot of rituals around the world are for. You know, we do the same ritual every, you know, like a Diwali or a Christmas, or you know, these different religions, they happen the same time every year, and the reason is because you get this sense of continuity and of placement. So I think photography for me is very much about that.
Well, thank you very much, Matt, for having this little chat with me.
Hey, you're more than welcome. Great stuff. So those of us, thank you very much for watching our video. For those people that are interested in looking at this, we've actually got the project is now live. It's on the internet. It's at 2 separate web addresses. So you can find it at karldmitribishop.com and you can find it at mattwidgery.com. So have a look at those 2 websites. The links are on the screen now, so click at those furiously and all that sort of stuff. And please leave us comments below here if you've got particular experiences with rituals and what your personal connection to rituals in your own life and your own art is. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I can't take this.